Not really much happened, to be honest. There was one goal. It was scored by Marcus Rashford. He took it very well from at close range. This is a Marcus Rashford, of course, Stevie, who hasn't seen a lot of playing time so far for Manchester United. When he did this season, he obviously got sent off. What advice would you give him if he called you up and went, Stevie?
I would have to tell him to bide his time right now. Mourinho doesn't stay anywhere too long.
But he's not going to start ahead of Lukaku, is he? And it's clear that his best position is through the middle. Is that fair?
He's not starting ahead of Lukaku. He's not starting ahead of Sanchez either. That means that if he plays at all, he plays wide.
Right.
And if there's one thing he's shown us, when he plays through the middle, he gives teams' defences a headache.
So why bide your time? Why stay?
Well, because I don't think Mourinho's going to last too much longer at
But Lukaku's still going to be
United.
there. Alexis Sanchez, as you say, is still going to be there. They're ahead of him in the pecking order.
A different manager, a different coach, a different way of looking at the game would maybe prefer Rashford through the middle to Lukaku. Who's to say that Rashford wouldn't score them out?
No one's going to pick
Hold on a sec.
Rashford, are they, ahead of Lukaku?
Why not?
If a new manager comes in...
Hold on a second. You say that as if Rashford is some bit part player. This guy's quality. This guy has a huge future if he steps on the field and plays. Lukaku is always going to get you goals against your Burnleys and all these sorts of teams. How many goals does Lukaku get you against the top teams? He doesn't. He doesn't do it, right? Are you going to persevere with him?
You can't put Marcus Rashford in there like that, Stevie. Not at this point. Certainly, he makes great runs.
Oh, he's only scoring goals in the international stage, but not at this point.
Lukaku got two today, to be fair.
Against who?
Well, against Iceland.
Against Iceland.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Are we going to go back to the last game where Marcus Rashford had 5 clear chances to score? And how much trouble do you give Lukaku for missing opportunities?
I'll pick you. Well, exactly.
My point is...
So if there's so much difference between the two of them, they're both doing the same thing.
This is what I would say, is certainly Marcus Rashford has a lot of quality. But there comes a time in a player that you have to learn to not only adapt, but improve in certain areas.
He's got to leave United, doesn't he, Brian?
I don't think he does either. I'm with this. But for him right now, for him to find the field consistently, both at Man United and with England, he's going to have to start taking his chances. At the same time, he needs to adapt and be able to play off of center forward. Because you look at, right now, you've got Harry Kane on the international side, and you've got Lukaku at Manchester United. You're not going to start in front of either of those two. To your point, if he leaves there, he's probably not going to move to a club that has as much quality. And when you have better quality, you're going to have better opportunities. It's just about growing as a player, adapting and trying to understand how I can play off of a player instead of being that one. And in the end, if he is able to do that, come 3 or 4 years from now, he's going to be able to play both positions, and he'll be a greater threat.
Gab, what do you make of this?
I think Rashford's a kid, and he's fine where he is. And, you know, he is basically Manchester United's reserve center forward right now. Alexis Sanchez is going to be pushing 30 or is right around that mark. So you bide your time, and as the guy said, you know, you wait. Lukaku's not going to play 60 games a year. United are involved in multiple competitions. See how he continues to develop. I personally think it's not a bad position to be in. As long as you get the minutes to continue to grow, bide your time. You're not carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. The way Harry Kane and Lukaku are right now, and his time will come.
But don't you want that responsibility?
Absolutely. There comes a time when you don't want to be sitting on your backside on the bench. And he's not getting enough minutes. Rashford's not getting enough minutes. And he's certainly not getting enough minutes where he should be, which is through the middle. And I'm not going to argue with Brian yet. If he can play off Lukaku, the problem is there's no way they don't play Sanchez. So forget that. That means he's coming off the bench and he's playing wide.
So that goes back to my initial question. Why don't you just leave? Why don't you force a move?
Well, because I believe things will change when Mourinho leaves. They'll change the way they play.
Go on, Gab.
Why should he leave? Look how young he is. He's Mancunian. He's a United fan. He came through the ranks. He actually values those things. Why should he leave? I mean,
Because I'm 21 soon and I want to be playing week in, week out. I don't want to be playing second fiddle. Surely I'd prefer to go to a lower club and play and start and really get into the game as opposed to just fleeting 15, 20-minute appearances.
Yeah, and then you get balls played up to your knees. You're battling two
list
defenders.
Of players
you don't have
who played for their country.
Sorry, Gab, go ahead.
List of players who played for their country that young and were so good that young and then left and came back is very, very short indeed.